Hi, I'm Jackson, and I'm going to go over my assignment and my discussion. So I'm working on having my students work on problem solving and independent research skills by having them independently work on projects with their Raspberry Pi. I want to clarify this isn't multiple students. This is just one of my students who likes to work with computers, but actually has a goal in writing and English. And so I'm trying to work it in for him to enjoy working on his English work as well. So he would then use the Raspberry Pi and then write an APA style format for that to go over his research on how to use a Raspberry Pi and over doing research over the projects he chose to do with his Raspberry Pi. Usually I would try to make it a bigger assignment, but I'm trying to go with less is more and trying to just really um, get the style of APA in his head and not have him do five Raspberry Pi projects and then a 5-page project. I'm having him do three Raspberry Pi projects and then just a 2-page paper, APA style paper. And I'm going to assist him with the APA style paper, but I'm not going to help him with the Raspberry Pi uh, work. I want him to work on problem solving and finding projects he's interested in, which will require independent research and problem solving. When he finds the project he wants to do, he's going to have to research it himself and find out how he's going to get his Raspberry Pi to work. The first article I went over is from the Council to Aid in Education. It goes over how problem solving helps students with improving their resilience, making them get used to challenging themselves. They need to be able to challenge themselves. In gifted education, it's really important that kids challenge themselves because if they don't get challenged, they're going to feel like it's easy. And then when they take a really hard class, either that's an APA or a college level class, they panic and don't do well in those classes and really need the challenge. It also goes over how it sets and achieves goals. It gets them to work out, have a goal in mind at things and gets used to getting it done. And then also they can also resolve conflicts by thinking outside the box. It gets them to not think uh, just one way. It gets them to go outside the box and think exponentially and find solutions that might not be thought of regularly. The next article I went over was from the Institute of Competition of Science. In the article, it's also another problem-solving article. It goes over how problem solving in schools and working on problem solving skills is important because it gives students more confidence by approaching concepts might not be used as strongly and used to how to solve these problems. So students need to be able to work through work through problems they're not that comfortable doing. It gets them outside their zone that they're good at. But if they complete these problems, their confidence increases and they feel like they can take on more and more, which will help them improve in the real world and further on. And then my next article was from the Harvard Business School. That goes over on why problem solving skills is important for leaders to learn. It goes over how problem solving is needed in every leadership position because you will always need to solve the problems when in a position. And training usually requires you to work with some, which can improve your skills on working with others. I like having a leadership spot in it because part of gifted education is what I'm learning in my classes is that we are training them to be leaders, and it's good for them to keep pushing themselves and work hard and being a leader. So they need to have these problem solving skills because a lot of great leaders have great problem solving skills and are able to push the boundaries of solving skills and working harder. They need to be able to think outside the box, be confident in themselves, and resolve conflicts, which I believe are all important for leaders and especially our young gifted students to start working hard on. My conclusion from the article is that problem solving is really important and that we should move to more problem solving in our classes. Um, I just feel like we don't problem solve enough. I know we work on problem solving when working with math and science problems, so I feel like we need to add more into it. Um, because students might excel at math problem solving and science problem solving, but get them a social problem solving they might have to work on, like finding out how to fix a conflict between two people and seeing how a way you could problem solve to make that work, or working on um, like trying to figure out what's necessary, what you can hold, problem solving in different situations that could happen in real life. For my project, I'm having them problem solve by having them look at a Raspberry Pi, seeing what they want to do with the Raspberry Pi. There's tons of options they can make AI with it, which one of my students is interested in doing. He's making ChatGPT on his Raspberry Pi, which it's taken a lot of work, and I am learning with him. I am completely lost. I have no idea where it's at. But he's problem solving. He's looking up all these codes and stuff on his own. He's looking at it. He's barely asked me for help. He's doing a fantastic job. And I believe this is helping him in the long run because he's not just asking me every time or reading from a sheet. He's independently researching and looking at project and looking at items he might need to build. He might need to make his Raspberry Pi better. Um, and then finally, the IST standard I believe that relates to this the most would be the 2.4.B, learn alongside students. This is my first time using a unit plan like this. Usually I just give them a goal and me and the team come together to do it. Me and the team come together and then we set that goal, but we've been changing it up a little bit with me being a little bit more involved, being a little bit more in charge of this process, being the main leader in this process, and giving him a goal. And we're really focusing on problem solving skills and improving that. And because of this, I'm learning also alongside him new problem solving things, what works, what doesn't. But this is actually true for all my students who I have working on problem solving activities, is that I'm learning with them. And with that, I feel like I'm learning a lot from. I learned that they do not like writing papers very much, so I need to find a new way to do that in gifted class instead of writing papers for English. But I'm improving and I hope to keep improving. Thanks. Have a good day. Bye. If I can find the stop button.